Hello everyone, welcome back to Coin Bureau Clips. It is time for another Q&A, but we're mixing it up this time. You and I haven't done one of these Q&As for quite a long time, have we?
Mixing it up. Is that why we haven't done one for a long time?
That's the reason. It's Friday afternoon. It's been quite a long week here at Bureau HQ.
It's been a wild week. Nick is sick of us and doesn't want to do a Q&A with either of us anymore, so we're back again. It's been a while since I spoke to you guys. How you doing?
I'm all right. Yeah, I've got that Friday feeling. Well, that Friday feeling that says I want to go home.
Yeah, it's that kind of, we're exhausted. What a week in crypto, guys.
Yeah. Okay, so, Q&A. Thanks everyone for sending your questions in on Instagram. As per usual, we've got loads, but we've picked a few.
Yeah.
Jess, do you want to start?
I would love to. So, starting with Neil Goldstein, who said, with a possible US recession looming in late 2024, what will this mean for crypto?
Yeah, well, we have been waiting for a recession for quite a long time, and it keeps sort of not coming. I was calling for a recession, not calling for it as in asking for one, but I was saying that we'd probably have a US recession about this time last year, if not earlier. So what do I know? But I guess there's two ways of looking at it. Mm-hmm. Either a recession which, in general, recessions tend to be lots of people losing their jobs and everything being pretty bleak.
Yeah.
Now, you would think under those sorts of circumstances that risk assets, particularly things like crypto, people would be looking to sell out of them if they need money just to get by, if they've lost their job, if they're not working. And in general, we'd see the sale of assets starting with risk assets. So you would think that a recession would be bad for crypto, and that's what I sort of most likely predict. However, I think it's worth noting that a little under a year ago, we had this banking crisis in the US.
Correct.
And there was a lot of FUD flying around all that. But actually, Bitcoin did particularly well because a lot of people started to regard it as something of a safe haven asset. So I think there's also the possibility that a recession could actually be good for crypto because we could see inflow. I'm not sure it would be good for altcoins, but it could possibly be good for Bitcoin.
And if we see more of a higher kind of inflation area too, when we see geopolitical tensions globally, that tends to also be fairly positive for Bitcoin too.
Yeah. It's impossible to know, really, but I think crypto could surprise us, even if we do see this recession. But it is, of course, worth pointing out. I know a lot of people, like Neil, believe that we could see a recession in late 2024, and that is very possible. It's equally possible that we couldn't. I mean, markets are, some markets are at all-time highs at the moment. We could keep going higher. It's all very unpredictable. Okay, I'll ask the next one. Ruben Vivrams. Shall I ask this? Today is when the Tucker Carlson, Vladimir Putin interview dropped. Shall I ask it in my best Tucker Carlson voice?
Please do. Okay. I thought you would have never asked.
Jessica, will ETH pump soon? Should I keep my TIA?
That is a great two-part question. So, first of all, we had yesterday, because this is Friday the time we're filming this video, yesterday we had the announcement of the Dencun mainnet update launch. So that will be coming on March the 13th. We had the final testnet, the third, which was Holsky, successfully taken place on Wednesday. So that's quite a nice positive for the Ethereum community, and the developers were able to set that benchmark date in. I am personally expecting that we would see some positive price action on the back of that. I think that's something which a lot of people wait. This is a very significant update and upgrade for Ethereum. And also a little fun fact for you. So Ethereum software developer kits, or SDKs, their initial increase has been 31% roughly year over year. So last year, 106 million downloads in 2023 for software developer kits. So people are still continuously year over year building on Ethereum. And I think as the crypto market progresses, everyone says, well, if you're getting into crypto and if you're building on crypto in 2023, in 2024, would Ethereum be your kind of protocol and ecosystem of choice? And it seems that apparently so. I mean, Ethereum is such a titan beast in its own right now that it doesn't seem to have any signs of slowing down, and this upgrade will really help it fare against any other potential layer one competition.
Yeah, that big upgrade for ETH, plus, of course, the fact that ETH has been lagging the rest of the market, particularly against Bitcoin, particularly against BTC for a while now, would suggest that we will see an ETH pump at some point. Denkun, a successful Denkun, could be that pump, although, of course, these things do have a habit of getting priced in and being sold in news events. And, of course, Denkun is going to mostly benefit Ethereum's layer 2, so that's worth bearing in mind. What about the second part of that question? Should I keep my TIA?
Oh, well, so congratulations, because TIA hit an all-time high this week.
Yeah.
Hit past $20, which was very, very impressive indeed. You know, congratulations if you're holding some TIA, maybe take a little bit of profit if you want, but it seems to be the force to be reckoned with, up 48% in 1 month, and seems to show no signs of slowing down. So I would say within the Cosmos ecosystem, and looking at TIA's token is one of the ones to watch and one of the big narratives for this year.
Yeah, of course, a lot of people are staking their TIA as well.
Yeah.
So there's rewards from that, you know, possible rewards from that, airdrops and what have you. I think a lot of them require probably more than just staking TIA. You have to do other stuff as well. That seems to be, you know, the case for airdrops these days. But it certainly seems, and you know, it's got the kind of first mover advantage in this modular blockchain space. There will be lots of competitors coming along. I mean, not financial advice. If I had some TIA, I think I would have taken some profit on some of it by now, but I would definitely still be holding some as well.
Yes.
Definitely.
And I'm just salty that I just didn't buy some TIA, to be completely honest. But, you know, for all of you that did, congratulations. And I would like to shout out Cryptocito on Twitter, who is a friend of the Bureau. He's come into the studio a few times, into the office to meet the team. And he is a Cosmos diehard and does a lot of content on TIA. So if you are following TIA and you want to get some updates, I think he's probably one of the top Twitter accounts to follow.
Yeah, Cryptocito, lovely guy and very knowledgeable too. And yeah, good on Twitter, and he's also got his own channel as well, Cryptocito, or where if you need a review of if you need an overview or a deep dive on any Cosmos project, that is the place to go.
Antonis Spranias.eth, do you believe a big correction is possible before the halving?
When's the halving? April. It's possible. I think we could be more likely to see a correction after the halving. I think that's something that has historically happened in the past. Yeah, I see a lot of talk about a possible big correction in Q2. A lot of it relates to liquidity. There are, you know, a number of factors at play that could suck a lot of liquidity out of the markets around that time. And of course, yeah, I mean, you know, as I said, historical precedent is something to go by as well. A lot of people assume that from the halving onwards, it's up only. That's not always the case. And, you know, it could also, I think we could certainly go lower before we go higher, but we will go higher eventually.
Yeah, it's interesting because I had a little deep dive into some of the kind of price expectations. I think people are looking at the halving as this benchmark that after that it's, you know, to the moon, onwards and upwards. Historically, there is a price dip of between 7 and 30% post-halving. And it's only in 12 to 18 months post-halving that you really see these all-time high price points. So we've still got a while to go, but it's just, we're moving along, we're getting some things ticked off the list in the way. So I would say, agreeing with you there, that actually in the kind of months after the halving, momentum is still there from the post-ETF. LOL, we're seeing some quite good inflows there, but after the halving, that could be when we see a little bit of a dip.
Yeah. Yes, the year 1964 has begun, and to commemorate the new year, we asked some young people how they think the future will look in 60 years' time. What will the world be like in the year 2024?
There'll be so many people that they'll have to have an overflow into the sea.
I think whenever we have a question, we'll just ask a computer and it will tell us the answer.
Everyone will have their own flying car and they'll just be flying around all over the place.
Or I may be at the funeral of a computer.
I don't think there'll be politicians or anything like that. I think there'll be monkeys and they'll be in charge.
Yes, I think the Coin Bureau deals page will be the place where all the best deals in crypto can be found. No doubt about it. It'll be absolutely fantastic.
Because there'll be more cures for the diseases and not so many people will get sick.
Anyone who's got any sense will store their money on their own hardware device where no one will be able to get it. And they'll use the Coin Bureau deals page to get the best discounts on those devices.
All dogs and cats will probably be robots by then, and you won't have to take them to the vet or anything, really.
I think when you sign up to an exchange on the Coin Bureau deals page, you'll get discounts on trading fees of up to 60%. It'll be lovely.
I expect they will set aside parts of the country solely for recreation.
One day, the Coin Bureau deals page will offer up to $50,000 in sign-up bonuses on some of the best cryptocurrency exchanges. I can't wait. I really can't. It'll be splendid. So, there you have it. The year 2024 is going to be quite incredible by all accounts. The future's bright. The future's Coin Bureau.
There's nothing you can do to stop it.
Okay, next question is from Sarale.po. Quite a few ways of saying that. Probably that wasn't the right one. Anyhow, they ask, should we expect a Litecoin ETF? It's similar to BTC, seems like a tiny step to make from a Bitcoin ETF.
A tiny step to make. I would not expect to see a Litecoin ETF anytime soon. I think this year is going to be the year of if/when for a spot Ethereum ETF. We have also heard some little trickles through the rumorville and also on Crypto X about a spot Solana, XRP, these kind of things. I think the demand and investor appetite for a spot Litecoin ETF would be fairly minimal. I mean, if you're looking to invest in something like that, Bitcoin is kind of the one to go to.
Yeah.
But what I would expect for the market is I would expect a basket of, say, the top 10, top 50 cryptocurrencies combined into an ETF. I think that is something that would be able to hedge against the smaller market volatility of the individual tokens.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, because I think, obviously there'd be a lot of regulatory hurdles because so many of the top 20, 10 or, 50 cryptos, whatever they are, the security questions around them.
Yeah.
But I think in the future, that would be a product that a lot of investors would want, able to get access to all, like you can get access to the S&P 500 or the FTSE 100 or whatever.
Yeah.
The top X number of cryptos, I think there would be a lot of demand for that. So, yeah, maybe not a Litecoin ETF itself, but who knows?
And also, if a Litecoin ETF came out in 2017, that would have flown through the absolute roof. Because Litecoin in 2017 was the token that gained the most, that investors were wondering about, TradFi was talking about. So, I don't know, keep us posted. If you hear anything we don't, through the grapevine, you let us know.
Yeah, who knows? The clamour for a Litecoin ETF might only continue to grow. Next question.
So we have Lewis MG007. Do you see yourself hiring more people for on-camera spokesperson?
Good question. Do we get more Coin Bureau presenters? I think is the question.
We're ousting you, Guy.
Yeah, this is it for me. Damn. Yes, Nick, our CEO, recently put out a tweet asking if looking for people because as you may know, we have a Coin Bureau España. So we have a Spanish language channel presented by the wonderful Marba. And we are looking to expand into different languages, into different offerings. So Nick's handle is at Nick Crypto, but that's NICCRYPTO, Nick Crypto, Nick without a K. So if you speak a language other than English and Spanish, because we've got a Spanish channel, but if you speak another language and you feel you've got what it takes to front a different language version of Coin Bureau, then get in touch with Nick, send him a DM. And then you can send him, a demo, a show reel or whatever they call it, and we can go from there. I think as well, like we could do with, if there are people out there who, what are the criteria for presenting, for doing our job?
Do you seek value in online media content and broadcast journalism? Do you love crypto? That's got to be a big one.
That's I think the most important.
Yeah. Do you love crypto? And if you think you've got what it takes and you'd like to join this pretty fun, awesome team, then shoot us a DM.
Yeah.
Show us what you got.
Yeah. You can also do that through Nick as well. There are plenty of ways to get in touch with us. But yeah, look, the next generation of crypto talent is out there. I, for one, am getting old and past it, so I think they're going to try and get rid of me anytime soon.
I'm exhausted.
So tired. So many cycles. But yeah, if you love crypto, if you're good in front of camera, if you're articulate, if you're passionate, if crypto is what you think about when you wake up and when you go to bed, well, you could be the next face of Coin Bureau.
And
just say.
And someone could come and sit here, and then I could go and join the Welsh channel.
Yes.
Because we need to wave this flag. For too long, our voices have been silenced. I'm going to stop now. But, just an idea, guys.
This is Jessica's ultimate ambition, is to form a splinter channel, Coin Bureau Wales, and just focus on the massive crypto market that only speaks Welsh. There we are. Okay, so Andre Rodventura asks, still worthwhile to keep Atom, or should I move to other projects in its ecosystem? They hold Atom in their personal portfolio.
I like that this question came up because I actually had this internal monologue that then I typed into the Coin Bureau Discord, which Guy has open onto the screen next to me at the moment. Mm-hmm. Very rude of you, Guy. No,
sorry.
So if you've not yet gone over to the Coin Bureau Discord to check it out, do make sure you do so. I am in the exact same situation as you, Mr. Guy with a very long, cool username. I also hold Atom, and I'm looking to move out and to diversify within the Cosmos ecosystem because I think they're building some very interesting things. However, Atom, as I referred to it in the Coin Bureau Discord, is kind of like the safe haven Japanese yen at this point in time. Atom is trading at the same price it was in June 2023. Wow. Very limited range compared to the other top 30 coins. Injective, for example, hit its all-time high, I think the 26th of December just passed. And then Celestia, all-time high this week. So there are other tokens that are moving. Also interesting to point out, if you guys haven't watched the interview yet with Ethan Buckman, who's the co-founder of Cosmos, he came on Coin Bureau Clips a few months ago, and we actually asked him the utility of Atom as a token. And he said this quote, that Atom is secure, reliable, stable, secure, sound, interchanging money, aka Atom is the kind of stable network that is being built. And then if you want to diversify, that's where interesting things will happen.
Yeah. Atom needs to fix its tokenomics in order for it to have the sort of pump that people are hoping for. So if I were you, I mean, if you're in profit on your Atom, then you could consider taking some profits and rotating them into other Cosmos ecosystem projects, because as Jess says, there are some really cool projects already there, but lots of interesting ones building as well. It is an ecosystem to watch. But yeah, Atom itself, its price has been pretty lackluster, and if it doesn't fix those tokenomics and get a bit more sort of utility, and I think get that inflation rate down, I think Atom's inflation rate is a big problem too. So if it can manage to do those, which they are trying to do, then that could make Atom itself, more likely to appreciate in price. Okay, what's the next question?
We have the question from Augustin Hossera, which is, Solana network have just recovered from another downtime. Is this a bad sign?
Yeah, this is Solana's 11th outage or something.
Yes.
Still coming. It isn't a great sign, but the market seems to have shrugged it off.
Yeah.
And, what was interesting was that Solana competitors, likes of Sui and Aptos and Sei, didn't really pump a huge amount. Sol itself didn't really dump. There is a lot of work to do because, you can't have a blockchain that keeps going down. Like that's no good. However, it doesn't seem like people are particularly bothered about that, given the price action. I think it would be very interesting to know, because Solana has not so long ago signed partnerships with the likes of Visa and things like that. A lot of it seems like Solana is sort of moving towards becoming a payments network, among other things. And I think it would be very interesting to see what the likes of Visa have to say about 5 hours of downtime, because you can't, a payment network that goes down is worse than useless.
Absolutely. And it's all good and well to preach about, if Fire Dancer comes through, how many transactions per second Solana will be able to accomplish. But if they can achieve millions of transactions per second and they're out for 5 hours, that is a little bit of a problem with a huge backlog.
Yeah. Watch Solana carefully, I think, because how they react and how they fix these issues is key. But I mean, I guess the question becomes like, how many passes do they get? You know, it's like, does it just become a meme that Solana goes down a lot and people just go, yeah, well, it's cheap and it's fast when it works?
Yeah.
Or do people eventually go, well, no, this is no good. Hang on, what's this other blockchain? This other blockchain is just as fast or faster and doesn't appear to go down all the time. Maybe we should use that.
Which could come with Dankun.
Yeah.
Because there is, as we know, the blockchain trilemma, and it's which do you sacrifice? And if this is a recurring issue, which 11th outage. Also, I watched your NFA yesterday with Rob and Ben, and Rob made it a really interesting point where he really underlined that Arbitrum had an outage December the 15th of last year, and then Polygon went down in 2022.
Yeah, it's not just Solana, but that doesn't excuse the fact that Solana keeps going down, and you know, other blockchains, Bitcoin, for instance, they don't have downtime. So it is something that needs to be fixed. Okay, I think is this the last question? Yeah. This is from Bidane. How can BTC be the money of the people if investment companies own most of it?
That is a great question, because actually, a little fun fact, so MicroStrategy now, as Mr. Michael Saylor bought 850 more Bitcoin this week, owns 1% of all Bitcoin in circulation. And all of the spot Bitcoin ETF issuers combined own near enough the same figure. So that's 2% of all Bitcoin in circulation. So we are seeing that investors really need to consider the direction in which Bitcoin is taking them. Arthur Hayes has recently spoken out and said that if the BlackRock ETF gets too big, it could actually kill Bitcoin because there's a bunch of immovable Bitcoin that is just sitting there. It is a very big question, because I think it's something that we will see more in the next kind of 2 to 3 years, where Bitcoin is this store of value asset that doesn't really move around. We've seen Bitcoin move off exchanges. We've seen Bitcoin just kind of sitting dormant, which actually, if you refer back to the Satoshi white paper, is not what the inception of Bitcoin was about at all.
Yeah. I guess the current financial system, one of the many, many things that's wrong with it is that wealth is concentrated in the hands of very few. And this idea of trickle-down economics doesn't really seem to work. The problem, that I think one of the big problems with Bitcoin at the moment is that although it could shake up this system, you know, although there is so much to be said for a system of hard, sound money, if we were to move to a Bitcoin standard overnight, that wealth would be even more concentrated among a handful of people who got in very early and are now, you know, Bitcoin, you know, those handful of Bitcoin whales, the likes of MicroStrategy and Michael Saylor, and then, of course, the BlackRock ETFs. Now, yeah, that does seem to me to be concentrating more and more of the Bitcoin supply in fewer and fewer wallets. If that goes on, then we end up with, I don't think that's an ideal system. And I don't think that's what Satoshi envisaged. But whether or not we'll see it become, you know, whether or not things like the Lightning Network will fulfill their promise to become this sort of decentralized payment network, I don't know. But yeah, there is definitely a danger, I think, that the supply of BTC becomes too concentrated. And I think that would, if people realize that, you know, I don't see why someone coming to Bitcoin now would be like, well, why do I want to try and own a small, you know, a handful of this asset when most of it's already gone? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, food for thought there.
That is final. We actually have one more question on here from Nick Crypto with a tick. Wonder who that could be. And the question is, when Coin Bureau workout vid?
We did a workout themed deals insert a while back.
You did a workout.
Okay, well,
I was on a work call and I could see in our glass meeting room a guy running on a treadmill going, "Are you ready for deals?" If you've not watched it, please go watch it. It's a great watch.
A cinematic classic. Nick can do Coin Bureau workout video. He's the workout expert. Whenever I work out, on the rare occasions, I just try not to die. No one wants to watch that.
But what would your workout, if you were going to do a Coin Bureau workout video, what would the workout of choice be?
It would be constantly trying to place a buy order for a meme coin.
Got it.
Okay, just over, you know, it's good arm workout, maybe closing the laptop. opening
then-
the laptop. Yeah, focus.
Discontent.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was going to say Pilates, your answer's way more just like, so subscribe to Guy's workout channel, guys, because that sounds like it's going to be amazing.
Yeah. All right, that's it for the Q&A this week, folks. Thank you very much for watching. Keep sending those questions in, and we will keep endeavouring to answer them in a coherent and knowledgeable way. See you again soon.
Bye, Key.